Sometimes the loudest truths are the ones never spoken out loud. Welcome back to Rainbow Spotlight, where we navigate the delicate line between public curiosity and personal privacy with respect and love. Today we're exploring something that happens in fan communities worldwide, that unmistakable recognition when you see someone and just know. That energy that transcends words, that connection that feels deeper than friendship, that vibe that makes you think family recognizes family. These 5 celebrities have never made public statements about their sexuality, and that's completely their choice to make. But fan communities, LGBTQ+ spaces, and even casual observers have developed such strong intuition that the conversations continue to grow louder every year. From subtle social media moments that make fans screenshot everything, to red carpet energy that speaks louder than interviews, each story explores how authenticity shines through even when words remain unspoken. Number 3's recent project choices have fans more convinced than ever, and number 1, the speculation has reached such a fever pitch that they recently addressed it directly, which somehow only made fans more certain. Drop a rainbow emoji if you believe authentic energy always finds a way to shine through, because what we're about to discuss proves that sometimes love recognizes love, even in silence. Subscribe to Rainbow Spotlight. But remember, we're celebrating possibility with respect, never demanding answers that aren't ours to require. Shawn Mendes, the heartthrob who keeps us guessing. When Shawn Mendes first exploded onto the music scene as a 16-year-old with a Vine account and a guitar, he seemed destined to follow the traditional teen heartthrob trajectory: safe romantic ballads, carefully managed public image, and strategic relationships designed to appeal to his primarily female fan base. His meteoric rise to global superstar status with hits like Stitches and Treat You Better established him as one of pop music's most successful young artists, with over 70 million albums sold worldwide and a devoted fan base that follows his every move. But throughout his entire career, persistent speculation about his sexuality has created a parallel narrative that Mendes has addressed multiple times. Yet somehow the fan theories only continue to intensify with each public appearance and social media post. The speculation has been constant throughout his career. Fan accounts dedicated to analyzing his body language with male friends, social media posts that get screenshot and analyzed for hidden meanings, and red carpet moments that generate thousands of comments about his energy and vibe. Recently, Mendes addressed the ongoing rumors during a concert, stating, "The real truth about my life and my sexuality is that I'm figuring it out like everyone else," adding that fans shouldn't expect him to provide clarity about something he's still exploring. Rather than settling the speculation, this honest response seemed to intensify fan interest and convince many that their intuition was correct. What makes the fan theories about Mendes so persistent is how naturally his public persona seems to evolve toward more authentic self-expression. His recent social media posts feature increasingly artistic photography, vulnerable captions about self-discovery, and collaborations with LGBTQ+ creators that feel intentional rather than coincidental. His fashion evolution toward more experimental styling and his comfort with discussing mental health and emotional vulnerability have convinced many fans that he's on a journey of authentic self-discovery that may eventually include revelations about his identity. The internet has become fascinated by Mendes's approach to addressing sexuality rumors without actually addressing them definitively. His recent comments about not owing fans explanations about his personal life were praised by LGBTQ+ advocates who emphasize the importance of celebrity privacy, but also interpreted by fans as confirmation that there are things to be private about. His choice to discuss the pressure of public speculation rather than simply denying rumors has convinced many observers that the truth is more complex than a simple yes or no. What's most compelling about the Mendes speculation is how it reflects changing attitudes about celebrity privacy and authentic representation. Younger fans particularly seem invested in the possibility that their idol might be part of their community, while also respecting his right to privacy and self-discovery. The fact that speculation continues despite his direct attempts to address it suggests something about authentic energy that transcends public statements. Whether the fan intuition about Mendes proves accurate or not, his journey toward authentic self-expression and his honest discussions about identity exploration have made him an unexpected icon for young people navigating their own questions about identity and authentic living. His approach to fame prioritizes genuine self-discovery over manufactured public personas, and his willingness to remain authentically uncertain rather than provide false clarity resonates with audiences seeking genuine representation. The ongoing speculation about Mendes ultimately represents something beautiful about fan communities and authentic connection. The recognition that sometimes energy and authenticity communicate more clearly than words, and that love recognizes love, even in silence. Drop a 1 if Shawn Mendes' honest journey of self-discovery proves that the most beautiful authenticity sometimes comes from embracing uncertainty rather than providing false clarity. Bradley Cooper, the leading man who leads with his heart. When Bradley Cooper first emerged as Hollywood's most versatile leading man, he seemed destined to become the archetypal heterosexual heartthrob, ruggedly handsome, effortlessly charismatic, and the kind of traditional masculine appeal that made him perfect for romantic comedies and action films alike. His evolution from supporting player to Academy Award-nominated director with films like A Star is Born, earning over $436 million worldwide, established him as one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. But throughout his entire career, persistent speculation about his sexuality has created an underground narrative that refuses to disappear, fueled by industry insiders, fan observations, and a certain energy that many in LGBTQ+ communities recognize as unmistakably familiar. The speculation has followed Cooper throughout multiple relationships and career phases. Whispered conversations at industry events, blind items in entertainment blogs, and fan theories that analyze everything from his red carpet body language to his choice of creative collaborators. Recent discussions on platforms like Reddit consistently mention Cooper among suspected closeted celebrities, with users pointing to his comfort with LGBTQ+ themes in his work, his close friendships with openly gay industry professionals, and what many describe as an energy that feels different from his public heterosexual relationships. What makes the Cooper theory so persistent is his apparent comfort with LGBTQ+ representation and themes throughout his creative work. His directing choices, acting selections, and collaborative relationships consistently feature LGBTQ+ artists and themes that fans interpret as evidence of personal investment rather than professional calculation. His interviews about emotional vulnerability and authentic self-expression in acting often contain language and insights that LGBTQ+ audiences find particularly resonant, suggesting someone who understands the experience of performance versus authenticity on a deeply personal level. The internet communities dedicated to analyzing Cooper's career have noted patterns they consider significant. His long-term bachelor status despite high-profile relationships, his comfort with physical affection in male friendships, and what many describe as a particular energy during interviews about love and relationships that feels more complex than typical celebrity responses. Fan theories often focus on his body language and vocal patterns when discussing personal topics, interpreting subtle cues as evidence of deeper truths. What's most intriguing about the Cooper speculation is how it intersects with broader discussions about Hollywood privacy and authentic representation. Many observers note that Cooper's generation of actors came up in an industry where being openly LGBTQ+ could still limit career opportunities, particularly for leading men in major studio films. The persistence of speculation despite his public relationships suggests that many people recognize something authentic in his energy that transcends official statements. Whether the fan intuition about Cooper proves accurate or not, his approach to masculinity, emotional vulnerability, and authentic artistic expression has made him an inspiration for audiences seeking genuine representation in mainstream entertainment. His willingness to explore complex emotional territory in his work, while maintaining privacy about personal matters, resonates with people who understand that authentic living sometimes requires careful navigation of public and private selves. The ongoing speculation about Cooper ultimately represents something significant about recognition and authentic energy. The understanding that sometimes the most meaningful connections happen without words, and that authentic representation can exist in the space between public image and private truth. Drop a 3 if Bradley Cooper's artistic authenticity proves that sometimes the most powerful truth is the one that speaks through creative choices rather than public statements. Jake Gyllenhaal, the Brokeback star who never broke character. When Jake Gyllenhaal first captivated audiences as the tortured cowboy in Ang Lee's Brokeback Mountain, he delivered a performance so authentic and emotionally devastating that it earned him an Academy Award nomination and established him as one of Hollywood's most fearless actors. His portrayal of Jack Twist wasn't just acting, it was a masterclass in emotional vulnerability that convinced audiences they were watching real heartbreak, real desire, and real love. In the nearly 2 decades since that groundbreaking film, Gyllenhaal has consistently chosen complex, emotionally demanding roles while maintaining a notably private personal life that has fueled endless speculation about whether his connection to LGBTQ+ experiences extends beyond his professional commitments. The fan theories are everywhere and persistent. Reddit threads analyzing his bachelor status, despite being one of Hollywood's most eligible bachelors, fan accounts dedicated to documenting his close male friendships, and LGBTQ+ community discussions about the particular energy he brings to interviews and public appearances. Many observers point to his comfort with LGBTQ+ themes throughout his career, his choice to repeatedly work with openly gay directors and creatives, and what fans describe as an unmistakable authenticity when discussing love, identity, and emotional truth that feels deeply personal rather than professionally calculated. What makes the Gyllenhaal speculation so compelling is his consistent pattern of choosing roles that explore complex masculinity and emotional vulnerability. From Brokeback Mountain to Nightcrawler to the Power of the Dog discussions, his career trajectory suggests someone drawn to stories about men navigating authentic self-expression in hostile environments. His interviews about acting methodology often include insights about performance versus authenticity that LGBTQ+ audiences find particularly resonant, suggesting someone who understands the experience of public performance and private truth on a deeply personal level. The internet communities focused on Gyllenhaal have documented what they consider significant patterns: his long-term single status despite brief public relationships, his body language during interviews about personal topics, and his apparent comfort with physical affection in male friendships that many interpret as evidence of someone living more authentically in private than his public image suggests. Fan theories often focus on his energy during LGBTQ+ events and his interactions with openly gay colleagues, interpreting subtle cues as confirmation of community membership. What's most intriguing about the Gyllenhaal theories is how they intersect with broader discussions about Hollywood's treatment of LGBTQ+ actors and the particular challenges facing leading men who might be navigating identity questions while maintaining commercial viability. Many observers note that Gyllenhaal's career peaked during an era when being openly LGBTQ+ could still significantly impact leading man opportunities, suggesting that privacy might be strategic as well as personal. Whether the fan intuition about Gyllenhaal proves accurate or not, his commitment to emotionally honest performances and his willingness to explore complex masculine vulnerability has made him an inspiration for audiences seeking authentic representation. His approach to career choices prioritizes artistic integrity and emotional truth over safe commercial decisions, resonating with people who value authentic self-expression, even when it's complicated or requires privacy. The ongoing speculation about Gyllenhaal ultimately represents something beautiful about artistic authenticity and intuitive recognition. The understanding that sometimes the most honest performances come from actors who bring personal truth to their work, regardless of what they choose to share publicly. Drop a 4 if Jake Gyllenhaal's artistic choices prove that sometimes the most powerful authenticity comes through creative work rather than public declarations. Tom Holland, the Spider-Man who swings both ways in fans' hearts. When Tom Holland first swung into the Marvel Cinematic Universe as the youngest Spider-Man in franchise history, he seemed perfectly positioned to become Hollywood's next leading man. Boyish charm, incredible athleticism, and the kind of wholesome appeal that made parents and teenagers equally invested in his success. His portrayal across multiple MCU films, earning over $3 billion worldwide, established him as one of the most valuable young actors in Hollywood, while his off-screen personality, genuine, humble, and refreshingly unguarded, made him beloved by fans worldwide. But throughout his meteoric rise to global stardom, persistent fan speculation about his sexuality has created a parallel narrative that grows stronger with every public appearance, social media interaction, and behind-the-scenes moment that fans analyze with forensic intensity. The fan theories are everywhere. Reddit threads dedicated to analyzing his body language with male co-stars, Twitter accounts that screenshot every interaction with Jacob Batalon and Harrison Osterfield, and TikTok compilations of moments that fans interpret as evidence of hidden truth. His close friendships with male castmates, his comfort with physical affection in interviews, and his genuine enthusiasm when discussing LGBTQ+ representation in media have convinced many observers that Holland's energy transcends traditional heterosexual presentation. Fan communities particularly point to his recent comments about wanting Spider-Man to eventually explore queer relationships as evidence of personal investment rather than professional diplomacy. What makes the Holland speculation so persistent is how naturally his public persona seems to challenge traditional masculine stereotypes without seeming calculated. His interviews consistently showcase emotional vulnerability, genuine enthusiasm for topics beyond typical masculine interests, and a comfort with discussing feelings and relationships that feels refreshingly authentic. His social media presence features artistic photography, vulnerable captions, and close friendships that fans interpret as evidence of someone living more authentically than his public image might suggest. The internet has become captivated by Holland's approach to fan speculation, never directly addressing sexuality rumors, but also never seeming uncomfortable with LGBTQ+ topics or fan theories. His recent interviews about representation in superhero media and his support for LGBTQ+ causes have convinced many fans that his investment is personal rather than purely professional. Fan communities particularly note his body language and energy during discussions about queer representation, interpreting his enthusiasm as confirmation of personal connection to these issues. What's most compelling about the Holland fan theories is how they reflect changing expectations about masculinity and authentic representation in mainstream entertainment. Gen Z fans particularly seem drawn to the possibility that their superhero might represent their community authentically, while also respecting his privacy and right to self-determination. The persistence of speculation, despite his never directly addressing it, suggests something about authentic energy that fans recognize intuitively. Whether the fan intuition about Holland proves accurate or not, his approach to masculinity, friendship, and authentic self-expression has made him an unexpected icon for young people seeking genuine representation in mainstream media. His willingness to challenge traditional masculine presentation while maintaining privacy about personal matters resonates with audiences who value authenticity over forced disclosure. The ongoing speculation about Holland ultimately represents something hopeful about contemporary fan culture. The recognition that authentic energy shines through regardless of public statements, and that sometimes the most beautiful truth is the one that doesn't need words to be recognized by those who understand authentic representation. Drop a 2 if Tom Holland's authentic energy proves that sometimes the most powerful representation comes from someone brave enough to just be themselves regardless of labels or expectations. Jeremy Renner, the Hawkeye who keeps his target hidden. When Jeremy Renner first stepped into the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Hawkeye, he seemed perfectly cast as the grounded family man superhero who could anchor the more fantastical elements of the Avengers while representing traditional American values and wholesome masculinity. His portrayal across multiple MCU films, earning over $20 billion worldwide combined, established him as one of the most recognizable action stars of his generation, while his off-screen persona, private, dedicated to his craft, and notably reserved about personal matters, created an air of mystery that fans have spent years trying to decode. Throughout his entire career, persistent speculation about his personal life has created a parallel narrative that refuses to disappear, fueled by industry whispers, fan observations, and a particular energy that many recognize as familiar. The speculation has followed Renner through multiple career phases: entertainment blog Blind Items, fan theories about his living arrangements and close friendships, and LGBTQ+ community discussions about what many describe as unmistakable energy during interviews and public appearances. Reddit threads consistently mention Renner among suspected closeted celebrities, with users pointing to his private nature, his close male friendships, and what fans interpret as strategic image management around personal relationships. His recent near-fatal accident and recovery process have only intensified fan interest in his authentic self beyond his public persona. What makes the Renner theory so persistent is his apparent discomfort with traditional celebrity relationship discussions and his consistent pattern of deflecting personal questions toward professional topics. His interviews rarely include organic discussions about romantic relationships, and when personal topics arise, many observers note subtle shifts in his energy and body language that suggest careful navigation rather than natural conversation. Fan communities interpret these patterns as evidence of someone protecting authentic truth rather than simply maintaining general privacy. The internet communities dedicated to analyzing celebrity authenticity have documented what they consider significant evidence. Renner's long-term bachelor status, his close living arrangements with male friends, his body language during interviews about personal topics, and his apparent genuine comfort during interactions with openly LGBTQ+ colleagues and fans. Fan theories often focus on subtle cues, vocal patterns, eye contact, physical positioning, that LGBTQ+ audiences recognize as familiar from their own experiences navigating public and private identity. What's most compelling about the Renner speculation is how it intersects with broader discussions about privacy, authenticity, and the particular challenges facing action stars who might be navigating identity questions while maintaining commercial viability in traditionally masculine genres. Many observers note that Renner's career spans an era when being openly LGBTQ+ could significantly impact action hero opportunities, suggesting that privacy might be both personal preference and professional necessity. Whether the fan intuition about Renner proves accurate or not, his commitment to authentic performance and his willingness to maintain privacy in an increasingly invasive media landscape has made him respected by audiences who value genuine artistry over manufactured celebrity personas. His approach to fame prioritizes craft and authentic connection with fans over personal revelation, resonating with people who understand that authentic living sometimes requires careful boundaries. The ongoing speculation about Renner ultimately represents something important about recognition and respect. The understanding that authentic energy can be recognized and celebrated even when it's never explicitly confirmed, and that sometimes the most meaningful representation happens in the space between public image and private truth. Drop a 5 if Jeremy Renner's mysterious authenticity proves that the most powerful truth is sometimes the one that doesn't need words to be recognized by those who understand authentic energy. Outro. From Shawn Mendes's honest uncertainty to Tom Holland's authentic masculinity. From Bradley Cooper's artistic vulnerability to Jake Gyllenhaal's emotional honesty and Jeremy Renner's mysterious authenticity, these 5 stories remind us that sometimes the most powerful truth transcends public statements. Each journey proves that authentic energy shines through regardless of words, and that love recognizes love even in silence. These aren't demands for disclosure or invasive speculation. They're celebrations of the recognition that happens when authentic souls connect across public and private spaces. Whether through artistic choices, genuine friendships, emotional vulnerability, or simply existing with an energy that feels familiar. Each person has created space for connection and recognition without requiring words or confirmation. Their collective impact shows us that representation comes in many forms, and that sometimes the most meaningful visibility happens through authenticity rather than announcement. They've proven that living genuinely, choosing meaningful work, and maintaining authentic energy creates its own form of representation that resonates with those who need to see it most. Which authentic energy resonated most with your own understanding of recognition and connection? Drop your numbers 1 through 5 and tell us where you're watching from, because these stories celebrate the beautiful complexity of identity, privacy, and authentic living. If you believe authentic energy always finds a way to shine through, smash that like button. Subscribe to Rainbow Spotlight for more celebrations of the many ways authenticity manifests. Remember, the most beautiful truth is often the one that doesn't need confirmation to be recognized, acknowledged, and celebrated by those who understand that love comes in all forms, spoken and unspoken. This is Rainbow Spotlight, where authentic energy speaks louder than words.